The first minute after you walk through the door determines how your dog behaves for the next 24 hours. Not their walk, not their food, not their training session later that day. That first minute, the one you do without thinking, after a long day of work when you are tired and your dog is the best thing that has happened to you all afternoon. Most owners get this minute wrong. Not because they do not love their dog, because everything their instinct tells them to do is the exact opposite of what their dog actually needs. And because the greeting you perform every single day, 1 or 2 or 3 times, is one of the most repeated training sessions your dog will ever receive from you, the damage compounds quickly, and most owners never connect the dots. This video is going to explain exactly what you are accidentally teaching, what your dog actually needs in that moment, and how to turn the most emotional minute of the day into the foundation of a calmer, more connected dog. 7 sections. They build on each other. Watch them in order. Your dog's nervous system has been in an elevated state for somewhere between 10 minutes and several hours before you open the door. It started the moment they heard your car pull up, or your footsteps on the stairs, or the jingle of your keys in the hallway. By the time the door opens, they are already past the point where calm is possible. They are in full arousal. Most owners walk into that arousal and make it bigger. High-pitched voices, baby talk, full body contact, letting the dog jump on them, ruffling their fur, wrestling, cooing. By the time the greeting is over, the dog is not just excited, they are flooded. And here is what flooded means in practical terms. A flooded dog cannot process normal information. Their heart rate is elevated. Their cortisol is spiking. Their ability to pay attention to cues, respond to their name, or settle on their bed is temporarily gone. It takes the average dog somewhere between 20 minutes and 2 hours to come down from a major arousal event. You have just created that event the moment you walked in. That is not a greeting. That is a nervous system crisis that happens to feel loving to you. This is section 1, and it is the hardest one for owners to accept because every instinct says the dog is happy, that a dog is wagging, the dog is glad you are home, and all of that is true. But happy and flooded are not the same state. A happy dog who is also flooded is a dog whose happiness is spilling over into something the dog cannot regulate. That is not a good feeling for them. It is overwhelmed wearing the costume of joy. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Section 2. Why the effusive greeting trains anxiety. When you come home and respond to your dog's excitement with more excitement, you are doing 2 things at once. First, you are reinforcing the elevated state. Every time the door opens, and the reward is a storm of voice and touch and energy, the dog's brain makes a stronger connection between the door opening and maximum arousal. Week by week, the arousal spike gets bigger, faster, and harder for the dog to come down from. Second, you are making your departure a bigger event. A dog who has learned that your arrival is the most exciting moment of the day has also learned by implication that your absence is an event worth obsessing about. The anticipation of the next greeting becomes the shape of their entire day. This is why many cases of mild separation anxiety look the way they do. The dog is not primarily upset about you leaving. The dog is locked in an anticipatory loop about your return. And every time you come home and make the return enormous, you deepen the loop. If you have a dog that paces, whines at the door, chews themselves raw, or is a wreck by the time you get home, and your greeting looks anything like what most greetings look like, you are part of the mechanism, not the cause, the mechanism. The fix is not less love. The fix is calmer love, delivered on a different timeline. Section 3. The 3-minute rule. When you walk through the door, for the first 3 minutes of being home, you ignore the dog. Not punish, not push away, not scold. Ignore, neutrally, calmly. As if the dog is a piece of furniture you know is there but do not need to address yet. Take off your coat, put down your keys, go to the bathroom, check the mail. Walk past the dog the way you would walk past a plant. Do not make eye contact. Do not say hello. Do not say their name. Do not reach out and pat the head as you go by. Nothing. This feels cruel for about 2 days, and then it feels profound. Because what you will observe within a week or 2 of doing this consistently is that the dog's arousal level at the door starts dropping. Not disappearing, dropping. The peak is lower. The duration is shorter. The recovery is faster. Here is why. Your dog is matching the energy of the room. If you walk in and the room is calm, if you are calm, if nothing big is happening, the dog's nervous system has nothing to match to. The intensity has no fuel. Over repetition, the door opening stops being a trigger for maximum arousal because there is no maximum arousal to match anymore. 3 minutes is the minimum. Some dogs need 5. A few need 10. You will know when it is time to say hello because the dog will have settled. Their breathing will be normal. Their body will be soft. They may be lying down. They may have wandered into another room. That is the moment you greet. Section 4. How to ask for calm without using a command. Most trainers will tell you to make your dog sit before they get attention. Sit becomes a requirement, and it works in the narrow sense that it gives you a predictable behavior at the door. But there is a better version of this, and it does not involve giving a command at all, because the moment you ask for a sit, you have raised the cognitive load of the moment, and you have reintroduced yourself as the focal point before the dog is ready. Instead, you wait. The dog is settling. You are continuing to do your normal things. And at some point, the dog offers you calm behavior entirely on their own. They lie down. They give you a soft look from across the room. They yawn and stretch. They walk past you without engaging. That is the moment you mark. Gentle voice, low energy, crouch down to their level slowly. Offer a calm hand. Pet the chest, not the head. A few slow, firm strokes. Then get up and go about your life. That is the greeting. No jumping required. No sit required. No command required. Just the mutual acknowledgement of two calm beings who happen to share a home. Dogs raised on this system develop something most dogs never develop, a default calm when the door opens. Not because they have been trained to suppress their excitement, because they have genuinely integrated the fact that the door opening is not a big event. The big event is the rest of the evening when the two of you are together. The door is just a door. Section 5. The jumping problem. Jumping is not a dominance behavior. Jumping is not a character flaw. Jumping is the answer to a mathematical problem. A dog's face and a human face are at different heights. The dog wants access to your face, which is where the communication is happening, and the most efficient way to get there is to jump. Every time you push them down, knee them, yell at them, or say off in an escalating tone, you are adding intensity to an already elevated moment. The dog perceives this as part of the greeting. Your agitation becomes their agitation. The jumping gets worse, not better. Here is what works instead, and it requires zero verbal correction. When the dog jumps, you turn your entire body 90 degrees away. You do not look at them. You do not speak. You do not use hands. You become a boring wall. The moment their paws return to the floor, even for a second, you turn back, and the interaction continues at low energy on your timeline. If they jump again, you turn away again. Dogs learn patterns faster than we give them credit for. Within a handful of repetitions, most dogs figure out that 4 paws on the floor equals access to you, and airborne paws equals a wall. The behavior fades without confrontation, without raised voices, without the arousal spike that makes the next greeting worse. And critically, everyone in the household has to do this. Every single person. Every single time. If one person allows jumping, the behavior will hold, and the dog will correctly conclude that it is worth trying every time. Section 6. Multi-dog households and why the greeting is where sibling problems start. If you have more than one dog, the greeting is the single most important moment of the day for their relationship with each other. Here is what happens in most homes. The owner opens the door. Both dogs rush to meet them. One dog is slightly faster or slightly more confident. That dog gets there first. The owner reaches down instinctively and greets that dog. The second dog arrives slightly lower in position and pushes in. The owner, distracted, pats both of them. Maybe the first one more than the second. Over hundreds of repetitions, you have taught the second dog that they come second in your reunion order. And dogs, unlike humans, keep score. This is where resource guarding between siblings often begins. Not over food, not over toys, over access to you. The fix has 2 parts. First, use the 3-minute rule exactly as before, and ignore both dogs equally. Equally is the key word. Neither dog gets attention. Both dogs have to settle. When the time comes, you greet them in no particular order, without ceremony, with calm contact only. Second, vary which dog you greet first when the moment finally arrives. Some days one, some days the other. No pattern, no preference, no ranking. Both dogs need to believe, correctly, that your affection is not a limited resource that has to be competed for. Owners who skip this step and greet the same dog first every day for years end up with 2 dogs who have structured their entire relationship around your attention, and usually not in a way that is good for either of them. Section 7. What changes in 30 days? If you do everything in this video consistently, here is what the evolution looks like. Week 1. The dog is confused. You have changed the contract. They may escalate. They may whine more. They may jump harder. This is normal. They are testing whether the old pattern still works. It does not. Stay the course. Week 2. The dog starts offering calm. Not always, not every time, but there are moments where you walk in and they do not rush the door. They lift their head from the couch. They wait. You reward that with the calm greeting you have been practicing. Week 3. The jumping is mostly gone. The door itself has lost some of its charge. Your dog may still come to the door, but the arousal level is noticeably lower. You can tell because the rest of the evening is calmer too. A dog who was not flooded at 6 o'clock in the evening settles more easily at 9 o'clock. Week 4. The shape of your relationship has changed. Not by a lot on the surface, but by a lot underneath. Your dog is more regulated. They are more attentive during training because you have not spent the afternoon undoing their ability to concentrate. They settle more easily when you leave because the return is no longer the center of their emotional universe. They look at you more often, not from need, but from interest. What you have done, without anyone noticing, is turn the most emotionally loaded minute of the day into a structure that calms the entire rest of the day. Every other thing you try to teach your dog will work better because of this single change. The greeting is not about the door. The greeting is about the contract you renew every day between you and the dog. Most owners renew it badly. A few renew it deliberately. The difference shows up in every part of the dog's life. Ignore for 3 minutes. Wait for calm. Greet at the chest. Turn away from jumps. Treat multiple dogs as equals. Do this every single time, without exception, for 30 days. Then watch what happens to a dog you thought you already knew. If this video helped you understand why your dog reacts the way they do when you come home, Canine Mind World goes deeper into the psychology of separation, attachment, and arousal in dogs. Why your dog fixates. Why the bond can feel obsessive sometimes. Why calm is the hardest thing for a love dog to learn. The how lives on Canine Mind World. The why lives on Canine Mind World. They're next. Subscribe here if you have not already. New videos every week. The complete Dog Owner's Guide playlist is building into the only series you will need to raise the dog you actually wanted.